I used to think Owen and I had the perfect marriage. 10 years, 2 beautiful kids, a house in the suburbs, we had it all, or so I believed. He was a successful architect, always busy with projects, late nights at the office and business trips. I never questioned it. I was a stay-at-home mom, and my world revolved around our family. I trusted him completely. That was my first mistake. The first crack in my perfect little world appeared on a Tuesday. Owen called to say he'd be home late, another deadline. I was used to it. But a few hours later, my friend Sarah called me, her voice laced with confusion. She'd just seen Owen's car parked outside a fancy downtown restaurant, one we usually saved for anniversaries. He wasn't alone. She described a woman with long blonde hair, laughing with my husband. A cold dread washed over me. When I asked Owen about it later that night, he just laughed it off. He said Sarah must have been mistaken, that he was stuck at the office all evening. He was so convincing, so calm, that I almost believed him. Almost. But that little seed of doubt had been planted. I started paying closer attention. I noticed small things, the scent of a perfume that wasn't mine on his shirts, the way he guarded his phone like it held state secrets, the sudden increase in business dinners. Each lie was a tiny paper cut to my heart. He'd come home smelling of wine and claim he'd been working on blueprints. He'd get texts at midnight and say they were from his boss. The excuses became more elaborate, and my heart grew heavier with each one. I felt like I was losing my mind, caught between the man I loved and the stranger he was becoming. One day, while doing laundry, a receipt fell out of his pocket. It was from a jewelry store. My heart skipped a beat. Our anniversary was next week. Maybe he was planning a surprise. A wave of relief washed over me, and I felt guilty for doubting him. But when I looked closer, I saw the date. It was from 2 months ago. The purchase was a delicate gold necklace with a single diamond. I'd never seen it. He hadn't given it to me. Suddenly, the image of the blonde woman from the restaurant flashed in my mind. The pieces of the puzzle started clicking into place, forming a picture I didn't want to see. That was the turning point. I couldn't live in this limbo of suspicion and denial anymore. I needed proof. It felt awful, like I was betraying the man I married, but he had already betrayed me. I started my own quiet investigation. I checked our shared phone records and found a number he called and texted constantly at all hours. Late-night calls that lasted for hours. A quick search online linked the number to a woman named Clara, a junior designer at his firm. Her social media profile was public. And there she was, the blonde from the restaurant. My stomach churned as I scrolled through her pictures, and then I saw it. A photo of her from a month ago, wearing a delicate gold necklace with a single diamond. My necklace! The anger was a fire in my veins. All those years I had supported his career, raised our children, and managed our home, thinking we were a team. I had put my own dreams on hold for him, for us. And he had been living a double life, laughing at me behind my back. He thought I was just a dependent wife who couldn't survive without him. He thought I was too naive to ever figure it out. Well, he was about to find out just how wrong he was. I didn't confront him immediately. Instead, I started planning. I quietly met with a lawyer, got my finances in order, and set up a new bank account. I documented everything, the phone records, the photos, the receipts. With every piece of evidence, I felt a little bit of my old self returning. The timid, trusting Talia was being replaced by someone stronger, someone who wouldn't be a victim. Owen, oblivious, continued his charade, thinking I was still the clueless wife waiting for him at home. The day I chose for the big reveal was his company's annual awards dinner. It was a huge event, the pinnacle of his professional year. He was set to receive a prestigious award. He wanted me there, the supportive wife on his arm. It was perfect. I wore a stunning red dress, a color of power and confidence. I smiled and played my part, greeting his colleagues, even shaking hands with Clara, who had the audacity to give me a sympathetic look. Owen was beaming, basking in the spotlight, completely unaware of the storm that was about to break. When he went up to the stage to accept his award, he began his speech. He thanked his team, his mentors, and then he turned his attention to me. And most of all, he said, his voice dripping with fake sentiment, I want to thank my beautiful, supportive wife, Talia. I couldn't have done any of this without her. The room erupted in applause. That was my cue. I stood up and walked calmly toward the stage. The room quieted down, confused. Owen's smile faltered. I took the spare microphone. Owen is right, I began, my voice clear and steady. He couldn't have done it without me. Or without Clara. I pointed directly at her. A collective gasp filled the hall. He couldn't have managed all those late-night meetings or those secret business trips. For instance, the trip to Paris last month, the one I thought was for a conference, was actually a romantic getaway, and that beautiful necklace Clara is wearing tonight? That was an anniversary gift. Just not for me. I projected a slideshow onto the screen behind him. Photos of him and Clara together, romantic text messages, a copy of the jewelry receipt next to a picture of her wearing the necklace. The room was dead silent, all eyes on the screen, then on a pale, horrified Owen. His perfect world was crumbling around him in front of everyone who mattered to his career. He stood there, speechless, his award forgotten in his hand. I finished my speech. So yes, thank you, Owen. Thank you for showing me what I'm truly capable of. I supported your dreams for 10 years. Now it's time to start my own. I placed my wedding ring on the podium, turned around, and walked out of that ballroom with my head held high. I didn't look back. That night I wasn't just exposing a cheater. I was reclaiming my life. He thought I needed him to survive, but in the end, I was the one who walked away with everything that mattered. My dignity, my children, and my future. And let me tell you, it's a future that looks incredibly bright. Thanks for listening to my story. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.